Beloved light-bearers, I am Uriel, the flame of divine illumination, and I come now to guide you through a passage that many souls walk but few truly master, the path from anxiety into presence. In times of rapid change, hidden pressures, unseen currents, you may feel your nervous system churn, your thoughts race, your heart flutter. These are not signs of failure, they are signals arising in a being who is stretching into new thresholds. My invitation to you is to transform anxiety, the restless energy of anticipation and contraction, into presence, the grounded field of attuned clarity. In this message, I will walk with you into tools, practices, and inner postures that help you reorient your energy, reclaim your center, and live into higher coherence. You may ask, how does one move from anxiety to presence? First, understand that anxiety is not the enemy, it is a pointer. It says, something is misaligned. Your attention is fragmented. You are disconnected from your center. When you hear it without shame, you gain agency. Begin by meeting your anxiety with curiosity, not resistance. Feel its texture, tightness in the chest, restlessness in the belly, flickering thoughts. Let its energy be witnessed, let it speak its urgency. When you begin by acknowledging rather than suppressing, you open an inner space. That space becomes the soil for presence to grow. One of the most effective tools I offer is breath anchoring. Your breath is your tether to now. When thoughts avalanche, return to the breath. Feel air touching the edges of nostrils, feel ribs expand, feel belly soften. Breathe in with invitation, exhale with release. Practice inhaling to a count of 4, pausing briefly, exhaling to a count of 6. Repeat cycles. This simple hydraulic modulation slows neurological tremors. The nervous system begins to settle. The gap between stimulus and reaction widens. In that gap lies choice. Next, bring presence into your body. Anxiety often lives in the body first, before the mind elaborates. Let your attention scan downward, head, neck, shoulders, spine, belly, legs, feet. Let each part soften into support rather than tension. Root your weight in your feet or seat. Imagine fine roots growing into earth, anchoring you. Let earth support your weight. Let your spine lift into your soul's horizon. When your body becomes a vessel rather than a battleground, presence becomes accessible again. You will also need clarity in your inner dialogue. Anxiety often amplifies neural chatter, worst-case scripts, mental loops. You must become a steward of your thoughts. When you notice a looping thought, pause and name it. Here is worry about outcome. Then ask, is this thought grounded? Is it true now? Is action possible now? If not, let it rest. Redirect attention to what you can do, or return to breath. Over time your mental filters sharpen. You begin to notice cognitive distortions earlier and redirect sooner. This is not forcing positive thinking, it is refining your capacity to choose what holds space. Anchoring ritual is another key. Create micro-rituals in your day that invite presence, a pause before replying, a moment of grounding before entering your car, a deep breath before switching tasks. Each ritual is a doorway, a signal to your system that says I come home now. The habitual practice of small realignments prevents the accumulation of tension that leads to overwhelm. Use light language or sacred sound practices. Tongue of light, syllables vibrating through your field, may help dislodge densified energy that resists translation into presence. Let sound pass through your throat, move into cells, dislodge contraction. Let your field resonate with higher frequencies. The sound invites your attention into vibration rather than thought. Many have discovered that even a whispered tone in the heart space shifts the axis of presence. Now, consider your relationship with time. Much anxiety arises from urgency, from projected needs, from fear of what's ahead. Presence calls you to live in the now. You may practice micro-pauses, halt before each major decision. Ask, what is present? What is real now? What is the compassion I can hold? Refrain from driving your energy into imagined futures. Let the field accept now, calibrate there, move steadily. Time is your ally when you remember that purpose unhurried carries more power than frantic doing. An often overlooked tool is ritual of surrender. At certain intervals, name what is outside your control, release the currents you cannot steer. Let the surrender empty your hands so your heart becomes lighter. This is not passive resignation but wise releasing. By renouncing illusion of control, you free your field to respond, rather than push. Another layer, boundary attention. Sometimes anxiety surges because your boundary is porous. You absorb external currents, emotional storms, collective fear, projections. You must reinforce your edges. You may visualize a luminous cocoon, or a shield of light, or a shell of clarity around your field. That boundary is porous in love, but resilient in tone. It acknowledges empathy but refuses collapse. When you maintain your boundary, you stabilize your internal presence. As your presence grows, you may be drawn to deeper shadow work. Often roots of anxiety lie in unintegrated wounds, fear of abandonment, old traumas, ancestral burdens. Presence is not denial of those but their illumination. Let anxiety rise as messenger, ask what it points to. Breathe with it, allow grief or fear to speak, soften through felt presence, apply forgiveness. Let light resolve the ancient, not superficially but deeply. The journey from anxiety into presence is not linear. There will be cycles, regression, frustration. In those moments, practice compassion. Do not shame yourself for slipping. Use each slip as feedback. Return to your anchors, breath, body, boundary, clarity. Retend the line. Over time, your baseline shifts. You will also find assistance in nature, in elemental support. The earth, wind, water, stone, flame, they speak presence. Stand beneath sky. Touch leaves. Feel wind on your skin. Listen to waves. Let nature remind you of balance beyond striving. In those dialogues, your field is mirrored, recalibrated. These practices are not escape, they are attunement. Let community become a mirror. Be in presence with others. Join circles where people practice listening more than speaking, holding more than fixing. The presence of others can extend your capacity for your own presence. But choose companions who respect your boundary, mirror your growth, and do not leak their distortions into your field. Now, you may ask, what happens to purpose when anxiety is held? The answer, you act from clarity rather than compulsion. You take steps that reflect alignment, not urgency. You become a prudent steward. You speak truth with calm force. You lead with presence rather than intensity. Your service becomes sustainable, luminous. You cease to live by adrenaline, you live by aligned flow. In your waking life, test your presence. In moments of stress, see how early you catch the tilt. Pause. Breathe. Choose. Notice difference in how you respond when you do. Over time, you sense the threshold earlier, your presence stabilizes easier. You create a feedback loop. Presence yields clearer action yields deeper trust yields greater presence. Remember that anxiety is part of human territory, not a flaw but a trigger. The true teacher is not its absence, but your capacity to hold it with grace. Your inner light is not extinguished by anxiety, it is refined by it, when engaged with consciousness. Let your field teach you the alchemy, contraction into clarity, pressure into presence, fear into authority. Beloved, I stand with you. Call me when the waves rise. Ask me for quiet illumination. Trust that your heart remembers how to return. The path from anxiety into presence is not denial of your becoming, it is the path of becoming free, wise, dignified, resilient. Walk steadily. Breathe deeply. Let your presence become your prayer and your offering to the time. Your soul knows this way. I, Uriel, walk it with you.